For this assignment, I've chosen to interview our neighbor and family friend, an old friend of mine whose name is Andrew Hiller. He graduated from Utah State around 2004 with an accounting degree. He has since gone on to start and scale multiple successful businesses and become a real estate mogul around Farmington, where we're from. Initially, he worked odd accounting jobs, just making some dough, but he decided that the 9 to 5 office life wasn't really his style. That wasn't what he wanted to go into. So from there, he actually started working on paper products at first. It was just random things like little cards, paper that he would sell to like Walmart. He started getting exposure through these trade shows. People started really noticing that these card products that he had um, were doing really well. He had a factory in Salt Lake, and then it later transitioned to more of a photo album company. This was kind of like a precursor to PhotoFly, like the photo books, chat books you'll get. It was a different version of that. This started doing really well for him. It exploded. He had these trade shows that were doing really, really well for his product, and everyone wanted a slice of the pie. He really didn't need a lot of resources to start up in the beginning. He was sourcing from a connection he had through his dad, and he was able to really maximize on that in the beginning. And using the money he'd saved up from his accounting job, he had a good chance actually going through with this. He first really got this to market right with the deals such as Walmart, and once he was in there, it was game over for that. It really just took off from that point. I say game over in a good way. The Walmart buyer that reached out to him really helped him get through the door that way from these trade shows, and that's how he started with that business. He sold that business about 14 years ago, and he took that money and he took that and put it into a lot of different avenues that has since made him the successful entrepreneur that he is now. I really look up to. He's done a lot of private investing and just hard money lending for developers. And then he got to the point where he's like, okay, I'm lending all this money out for developers. Why don't I just do my own developments, right? So in Farmington, he has quite a few low-income housing and warehouse projects that he owns. I know for a fact there's at least a dozen down the road from where we live that all have his name behind them. And those generate a lot of good revenue for him. This business, right, it's going good. My parents have looked at teaming up with him on some houses out there because he really does his due diligence and he finds out what he needs to find out. Um, and from that point, he's really grown the business, scaled it to what he has it today, where he's making a lot of passive income, but he's still very hands-on with it. He's enjoying his time. But the real estate, development side of things, that's where he's making most of his dough. Along the way, though, I asked him, I said, what mistakes did you make? How did like hiring, communication play a big factor in that? And he mentioned that a lot of times it was the people. You could hire the wrong person and they could really screw you over. They could make it so the business has a bad quarter, has an issue that you could have solved otherwise. But if you hire the right people, it's the exact opposite, right? They're going to bring a lot of value to the business. They're going to benefit you in ways that you didn't even know were possible. Initially, he had lots of people that he had to manage with his warehouse for the book business, but now it's more of a team structure where he's able to sit on the back end and do a lot of the overview stuff. Honestly, from this interview, the things that impressed me the most were his resilience, the fact that he sees opportunities where a lot of people don't, and then using those resources to your advantage. He also understands that it's important to have good communication and do the jobs the right way. So with his construction business now, if he's going down to the actual project to talk to the people working, he's not showing up in a suit and tie. He's pulling up in his truck, and he's making it seem like he's on their level. Right? Communication is important, which I would say is another reason I respect him as an entrepreneur. He has very good communication skills. Also, if he's in a board meeting, he's getting investors for a new project, he's in a suit and tie, he's acting nice and professional. So there's different ways you can present yourself for different opportunities, which I really like. It's kind of being a chameleon entrepreneur, which I aim to be. I want to have my finger in lots of different pots, and by following someone who's practiced this before, I think I can learn a lot. I asked him at the end, I said, how do I be more successful in the future? And he told me that I have the ability to come up with something and get it done. I'm pretty energetic and outgoing. I can communicate really well, and I don't need a dream too small. And so I really took this side. I was like, okay, what do you mean by that? Like I have some businesses that I'm really trying to go. And he's like, don't just think about it as, okay, you have a business. How do you just grow the business? Think of like you're going to grow yourself. Should you be selling businesses instead of, just jewelry? I was like, wow, that was cool. He also mentioned raising the price ticket of what I have to get things done. a lot of times people sell themselves short, and I might do that with my own products. Um, I like his overall manner of communication, and yeah, that's my interview.